Remember that what you're seeing on an application is like seeing someone's resume. It's the best version they could come up with of themselves presented to you. He's making, 100 grand, she's making 100 grand. So it looks great, but then you do the math. In any flip, there's going to be a point where the house is worth less. If you start taking down walls, taking out kitchens, taking out bathrooms. When I do a loan like that, we make it clear at the beginning. There are no extensions. There are no renewals. Okay, welcome back to The Wealthy Lender. This is episode 22. I'm Chris Nichilo, licensed mortgage broker, financial literacy advocate, and founder of Magnetic Capital Group, which I believe is Canada's premier private mortgage administration firm. And today, we're talking about a trap that catches way too many new investors off guard. It's the deal that looks amazing until it doesn't. And beautiful homes, low loan to values, confident borrowers. On paper, everything looks perfect, but the truth, one weak link can eventually sink the entire file. And in this episode, I'm going to show you how to look past the surface and spot the red flags that can turn a can't miss deal into a capital loss that is potentially waiting to happen to you. Nick.
Okay, so it's news to me that one weak link can sink an entire file that looks good at face value.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about one weak link, we're just trying to throw caution in there to people to say, hey, don't overlook things. Just remember that what you're seeing on an application is like seeing someone's resume. It's the best version they could come up with of themselves presented to you. And it's up to you to look into the details and see if the puzzle all sort of makes sense, right?
So you're saying lenders can see a couple data points, they look really good, and then assumptions start being made.
Yeah. I mean, you like I said, when someone, I'll give you a good example. In the brokering world, there's an old trick years and years ago when I was brokering. I remember an older guy in the office giving me this tip, and he was saying, what you want to do when you submit this application, the one area that you have control over is the asset side of your client's net worth. So, liabilities come from the credit report. So there's nothing you can do there. What's on the credit report is what's there. But on the asset side, you're reporting to the lender assets that they have. And what his goal was always to present the client as positive net worth.
How do you do that?
Well, it was so great because he's like, you can't lie, but you can make sure that you list all the assets, like the $30,000 of artwork in the house.
Oh man. Okay.
The $50,000 of jewelry in the house. Stuff like that. So he would use this as a way to balance the net worth and present the client in a positive light. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get it. That's what we all want, is to present ourselves in the best light.
Interesting.
But you can, you can look at that. And if you just look at the column on the application that says net worth, it's a positive number. If you look a little deeper and you look at the asset ledger and the liability ledger, you start to look at it and go, $30,000 in artwork, huh?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Right? 50,000 in jewelry. Okay.
Subjective.
Right? It's not like $100,000 in RSPs.
No, and might not be the most liquid collection,
Right. Yeah. So anyways, the point being is, as lenders, what we have to look at is the details, right? And we have to look at, whether this makes sense or not. I'll give you a great example. Okay. The easiest one is, is the borrower's ability to pay. So it's amazing the stuff that you see, so you get an application. The mortgage is for $1 million. Okay. And we're going to charge 9.5% on it. That's $95,000 a year in interest.
Yeah.
You do the math, right? That's, 11, Is it 11,000 or no? Sorry, 7,000 and change.
Call it 7, yeah.
Okay, 7,500 and 7,500 ish, right? A month in interest alone. So when you look at the person's income and you see, or the employment, and you go, wow, they've been a teacher for 15 years, and that's her, and he's a police officer, right? And he's making 100 grand. She's making 100 grand. 200,000.
200,000
Right?
stable jobs.
Great jobs. I mean, teachers are hard to fire, right? People love policemen, reputable people, right? So it looks great. But then you do the math and you go, okay, so 200 grand, policeman, teacher, looking great, credit's good, right? Oh, wait a minute. How much is this mortgage going to cost every month? 7,000. Let me do the math. Let's see here. You got $95,000 in interest, divide by 12, $7,916. Okay, call it $8,000 a month. On top of that, we got property taxes. So let's say on $1 million property, it's 1%, 10,000 bucks, right? So you're at 95 in interest plus 10,000 in property taxes, and you haven't put a liter of gas in your car yet. You haven't done any repairs to the property. You haven't paid the utilities. You haven't eaten. You haven't done any of that, and you're at $105,000, and that's cash money. That's
after tax.
Now you look at it and you go, okay, so 200,000 coming in gross. Let's say they're both in a 40% tax bracket. Would that be fair?
Yeah. Well, I'm Ontario.
In Ontario? Okay, so 200 becomes 120. So you got 120,000 coming in, 105 going out before you've even thought about your living expenses. Now, what do you think?
I think that's pretty steep.
Yeah, I'm going like, I don't know. Like, okay, my thing is I go, well, could I do it? Right? Like, could I do it? Could I live on that? And I would be like, I can't. There's no way I'm going to get through the rest of the month on 2,500 a month. So you gotta look at things. Remember, it looked great. House is beautiful, right? Credit's good. Jobs are good. Income looks good until you back out taxes and then start working on the costs and whatnot. You're looking to go, how is anybody going to do this? Right?
No, that's yeah.
So it's a matter of, now there are levers we can use, right? There are levers we can use to make it work.
Is this where the interest reserve comes in?
Yeah. Yeah. In that specific example, we're dealing with the problem is we want to lend to these people. We believe they're good people. We believe they have good credit, good jobs, all the rest of it, good people. But whose fault would it be if we put them in this mortgage that's way over their capacity? I don't think it's just their fault. It's our fault too.
Yeah, no, there's some lack of stewardship there.
So if we looked at it and we said, well, what if we lent them an extra $50,000? Well, what would happen then? Well, if we took the 50,000 and then we held it in reserve and we applied, let's call it 48,000, okay? 48,000, that's 4,000 a month. So we lend them $48,000 more. They pay a little bit more interest, yes, but they get $4,000 a month of the payment paid up front.
Oh, you lend that as an extra. I thought you just carved it out of the initial loan.
Well, the initial loan comes with like a use of funds already. Like that's what they needed. They needed that money for something different.
Okay.
So to make it work, we can lend them a little more and hold it back to help make the payments to service the loan. Now what becomes really important, like uber important?
Exit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what's going to run out in 12 months?
The money.
The reserve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So you can see how this starts to fit together. So you go, okay, there's enough room for us to stay under our maximum loan amount threshold, and we can lend them a little extra. and we can hold it back. And now we've solved the ability to pay problem, right? Because now that $4,000 goes right to their living expenses.
Right.
You don't have to use it to pay. Okay. So now we have 12 months. Now we're on the clock. Because in 12 months, the reserve is going to run out. And in month 13, they're going to have to pay the $4,000 out of their pocket, which they don't have. So now we know we're in trouble. So when I do a loan like that, we make it clear at the beginning, there are no extensions. There are no renewals.
Straight to sale if no one's happy.
Straight to sale. Now, does that mean we don't end up in default past maturity? No, we could, right? But there's a reason why most times we don't. And it's because we're aware of the plan from day one. So we are working that plan from day one. We're staying in touch with that borrower. We're finding out how things are going, making sure they're making progress towards the exit long before the date they have to exit. The point being, it's a great example of how a deal can look exceptional. And if you just didn't have, you wouldn't think somebody was an idiot for looking past that detail, because you look at the surface and you go, house is beautiful, credit's good, 200,000 a year, that's good, sounds good, right? Sounds like enough, right? Teacher, police officer, love it, let's do it. And then 3 months in, they can't make the payments. You're like, what happened? These guys were perfect. Yeah, but the math was right in front of you. The math said they couldn't do it.
Do you go straight to the reserve, or do you sort of try to get them to solve their problem with less?
Yeah, it's not math that the average person can't do. So it's you're looking for a structure, but you're looking for a structure that works for this particular group, this particular borrower or borrowers with their circumstances. And it has to be custom. So you may have some general guidelines that you like to work within, but every solution has to be custom. Because every solution, every application has a different set of circumstances. They all have hair on them.
Yes.
That's why you're making 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but there is a solution for a good portion of them, but you have to look deep into the details to find it. You got to be willing to sit there and do 15, 20 minutes of math. We're not talking hours, but like you got to and you got to do it as a reasonable person. Just put your reasonable hat on, right? Like, remember, people will bite off more than they can chew if we let them. They will.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of the details. The devil, as they say, is in the details.
How would you, because I see here, okay, so gorgeous property, wrong location, or maybe some other example where the collateral looks great, but then upon a deeper look, it's not about the floors.
I'll give you a really easy one everybody can understand or relate to. The home flipper. Okay. So they bring us a property. We look at the appraisal. The pictures look good. The house is in decent shape. It's dated, right? And then the plan is they're going to renovate it, take the money we give them, renovate it, and improve the value. Investor's dream.
Makes sense.
You're actually going to take my collateral and make it worth more by the end of the term. Fantastic. I love it, right?
Lower my LTV. Amazing.
That's right. But what key thought may be forgotten when looking at that? I mean, you look at it and you go, oh, the guy's done it before. He's done 3 or 4 of these flips. That's great. He's shown you his resume. Okay, fantastic. The house is we're only valuing today's value. We're not evaluating the future value. So that's good. And we're going to lend 80% of the future value. And why not? Why not lend 80? Because that's our max. And when the thing is done, right, it's going to be worth 50 grand more, 100 grand more, so the LTV is going to come down, as you said. What could be the piece you overlook?
The liquidity of it?
No. The fact that in any flip, if there's any construction element to it at all, there's going to be a point where the house is worth less.
Oh, you're saying he might not finish the project.
If you start taking down walls
Yeah.
taking out kitchens, taking out bathrooms, there's a point where that house is worth less. So you need to make sure that the borrower can get through that period, not run out of money, and not end up with a house that he hands you the keys for, right? And it's in a state where it's nothing like what you appraised it at the beginning. So people forget that we go back 2 steps in a flip before we go forward.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So you
Now,
want to
it's
have a
not
look
to,
at that flipper portfolio.
yeah, and it's not to be afraid of, but you know where the biggest challenge, you know what the biggest challenge with flips that go wrong is?
You
It's
mean
not that the
for
guy couldn't do the work. It's misappropriation of funds.
oh, they were improving the wrong things?
I gave you $300,000, right? And you said what you were going to do with it is put in a new kitchen, put in a new bathroom, landscape, put a new roof on, all the rest of it, right?
Yeah.
Then the work doesn't get done, but the money's spent, and you wonder what happened. It's because you gave the money to the borrower, and you didn't know that they were using it to pay their mortgage on their other property, or that they were using it to fund, oh, something came up, daughter had to go to school, paid for that. Not necessarily deceptive things or like deceitful things or anything, just
These life curveballs.
life curveballs. So what you can do to protect yourself there is say, hey, nope, this is great. We're going to give you 300,000 to do these jobs. Here's what I want you to do as a condition of the mortgage. I want you to go and get quotes from contractors. Who's doing the work? Oh, I'm doing all the work. That's tougher. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, we're looking at, okay, well, if you're doing the work, we don't have to pay for labor. So now I want you to go and get quotes for materials. Bring the material quotes. We'll pay directly to get the materials. We will control the funds and send them directly to whoever you're buying the materials from. They'll deliver the materials to you.
Oh, Magnetic's done that?
You can do it.
Oh,
we
nice.
don't do a lot of those types of we don't anything with a construction element. We don't do, but you could. It's a great example, right?
Yeah.
We just don't do construction. Anything. We will only allow renovations that are cosmetic.
Gotcha.
Okay.
No structural stuff.
New tiles, new floors, right? Paint, that kind of stuff. Not taking down walls and moving. Well, there's a select couple of borrowers we know and trust that we might allow to do that.
But you're not letting them walk away from like a half-done cracked foundation and stuff.
No, you control the process. Remember we talked about how you control, in episode 21, we talked about controlling the exit.
Yes.
With conditions. Like if somebody's going to sell the property.
Yeah, this is controlling the process.
We work together to pick the realtor. We establish a boundary of when you're going to sell, what mark you're going to sell it at, and so on and so forth. Same thing here. So, and listen, this is how you find opportunities. This is how you create opportunities, is being good, being great even at structures, niches, right? Don't be afraid to lend on a rural property, especially if the property has 40 acres of land and your appraisal is based on the house and 5 acres.
Yes, I remember that.
Why would you not want to lend? Why would you not want to lend on a rural proproperty? There's a market for the rural property. It may take longer to sell, but you've got this extra land that has value. You've got a buffer, buffer.
That hidden
so
value.
Things like that. People say, I don't want to lend outside the GTA. I said, are you crazy? The smaller markets in Ontario are brilliant for lending because most people who grow up there stay there. They buy there, they sell there. And the markets are largely neutral. They don't go up crazy fast. They don't come down crazy fast. When you're lending against the property, that's what you want. So, it's just such an interesting topic, this one. It can be just subtle things that you miss, right? Because you just weren't looking closely enough, and that first example I gave, I love because everything looks good. The house looks good. The credit looks good. The jobs look good. The income looks good. The assets and liabilities are under control. Everything's good. And yet still there's a massive problem. It's an unsustainable loan you're about to give. It's absolutely unsustainable. And every reasonable person, when given the math to do, would conclude the same. Right? So you need to know to look there.
Yeah. And with the flipper example, you're literally putting the security of your loan at risk if you don't scope that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean it's amazing. You're taking the collateral, the one thing that can set you free in all cases,
Mhm.
and you're missing the fact that at some point that collateral is about to be destroyed. Right? Like, right?
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay, so we did ability to pay and collateral in this one, and then exit strategy was episode 21.
Yeah, really good. So, anyways, I hope that lands for people. And great. This one's a great episode for questions. So if people were to have questions, just I don't know where you put them. You probably do.
Comments.
Yeah, in the comment section, and we'll try to get to them. But yeah, really, really good. So
Sweet.
on that note, until
Until next time.
happy lending.
See ya.